From KGW, this is The Good Stuff.
People will come if you put up a bunch of wacky, cool, weird art to explore.
And they certainly did. Crowds flocked to parts of the central city this weekend to take in the opening of the Portland Winter Light Festival. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us for The Good Stuff. I'm Brittany Folkers. The Light Festival includes an electrified series of art installations, light shows, and performances. And if you didn't make it this weekend, well, it's back this coming Friday and Saturday. Art Edwards has a look at the festivities.
It's a festive atmosphere in downtown Portland. Thousands of people out enjoying the Portland Winter Light Festival. From people wearing lights to kids playing with lights.
Every year since it started, me and my family, we like coming down to see all the pretty lights. Like any excuse I get to see lights, it's just like a good one.
There's a lot to see. Fire, amazing artwork, and lights, lots of lights. This is all carefully put together by the Willamette Light Brigade, with the idea of giving many people access to all different kinds of art.
People will come if you put up a bunch of wacky, cool, weird art to explore. People enjoy it, and so we need something to celebrate right now in Portland because it's winter, but also because it's time.
The festival runs through February 10th, but the anchor spots at Pioneer Courthouse Square and Southeast 2nd and Clay are only open on Friday and Saturday nights. On Thursday, at the event kickoff, Mayor Ted Wheeler talked about the importance of this event, pointing out that last year the festival drew more than 200,000 people downtown and generated more than $4 million for the local economy.
My administration remains unwavering in our commitment to revitalizing and growing Portland, especially Portland's urban core.
All that matters to these folks is that the Winter Light Festival is still going strong.
It's crazy how much it's grown, and it's so cool.
Art Edwards, KGW News.
It is so cool. I love that they do this every year. So maybe you were out checking out the lights this weekend. No matter what you were up to, I asked you to share it with a photo on social. I wasn't at the Light Festival, but I did put on the pointy ears this weekend for a Lord of the Rings themed show in Portland. My whole crew went all out with the costumes because the headlining DJ was none other than Frodo himself, Elijah Wood. It was pretty epic, not gonna lie. Hey, Kay was hitting the dance floor too, but at a celebration of German sausage. She shared this photo from Volkfest in Mount Angel. Looks like a ton of fun. And hey, speaking of cultural celebrations, Amy was at the Sherwood Lunar New Year Lantern Festival this weekend, sharing this really cool pic. She said it was so much fun. And many of you took advantage of the sunshine we had over the weekend. Cody hung out with his doggo Gizmo while he wasn't busy working. Really pretty photo too. Nikki was out with the dogs this weekend too at Minto Brown Park in Salem. She's walking 100 miles this month for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Way to go, Nikki. Moses hit the trails this weekend, mountain biking with friends at Silver Falls State Park. Man, that is some great exercise. Love to see the crew out there. And hey, here's a way to get out some extra energy. A smash room. Gary shared this photo of what used to be a TV until he smashed it. I've always wanted to do that. That seems like so much fun. Angel celebrated her oldest child's 25th birthday this weekend. And Angel, I feel like you look 25 yourself. Beautiful mama. She says her son is incredible and keeps her strong. Happy birthday. And hey, finally, a gorgeous shot from Griffin, who's stuck close to home this weekend to check off some of those things on the good old honey-do list. But he still managed to snap this sunset shot at Fern Hill Wetlands. Isn't that just gorgeous? Hey, we want to see your photos and stories of good stuff happening in our community. You can send them on over by texting us at that number on your screen, 503-226-5088. You can also email me at thegoodstuff@kgw.com. Many spent Sunday celebrating the legacy of Rosa Parks on what would have been her 111th birthday. Her refusal to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955 became a cornerstone of the American Civil Rights Movement. In Northeast Portland, the Alberta Abbey celebrated the life of Rosa Parks. We talked to several people there about what they think of most when they think of her legacy.
It wasn't her money, It wasn't her education. It wasn't her background, family lifestyle. It was because she decided to take a stand. It just shows that one person can make a change and can make a difference.
And that day it was like, I'm tired and I'm not getting ready to do what I normally would do, right? I'm not going to give up my rights. I'm not going to give up my power. I'm not going to give up my voice. I'm not going to give up my right to belong. And so that's what I love most about that story. Not that she was the mother of the civil rights movement, not that she was trying to take a stand against racism. It was really more so, I'm just tired of being tired. And I think that's the piece that I think that I resonate with, right? Like, I'm tired of being tired and wanting to make sure that we have a space, right, where we can be who we authentically are. We don't have to hide, we don't have to cower, and we don't have to dim our light, but that we can fully authentically be who we are and be honest about where we are.
We all have some Rosa Parks in us. We all have these times where we just feel like, you know what, enough is enough. Like, I'm over it. Like, here I go. This is my hurrah, this is my today, and this is, you know, my yesterday, and this is my tomorrow. And I feel like she was really, I know for sure that she had such a strong relationship with God, and she knew that no matter what she did, no matter where she planted her feet, no matter how she decided to move in her day, as long as she ran it by the Lord first, she was gonna be all right.
The Abbey has a number of events celebrating Black history throughout February. You can visit albertaabbey.org for more information. And during this Black History Month, we're highlighting local people who've broken barriers in their lives. We're talking about a chef today that's become one of the biggest names in the food industry, Gregory Gourdet. Here's Christine Pitawanich.
Portland is a foodie city, and no one represents that better than Chef Gregory Gourdet. He grew up in Queens and attended the Culinary Institute of America. Gourdet worked his way up and eventually took over the kitchen at Departure Restaurant in downtown Portland for 10 years. Along the way, Gourdet helped put Portland's food scene on the map. He was a runner-up on Top Chef Boston and then served as a guest host on Top Chef Portland. When the pandemic hit, it put Gourdet's plan to open his own restaurant on hold. But he didn't slow down, opening a pop-up, COVID-safe outdoor restaurant. And in August of 2022, the doors finally opened on his Haitian-inspired restaurant, Khan. It was an instant hit, and Gourdet took home one of the biggest awards in the industry.
And the winner is Khan.
Khan won the James Beard Award for Best New Restaurant. Gourdet also won another for his cookbook, Everyone's Table: Global Recipes for Modern Health. But Gourdet is much more than a chef. During the racial justice protests in 2020, Gourdet was a vocal supporter and took part in the marches in Portland. He's also a proud member of the LGBTQ+ community.
An amazing chef and just an amazing human being. Hey, still to come here on The Good Stuff, we're going to meet some winning welders, how a local competition is jump-starting careers in the trade industry. Welcome back to The Good Stuff. Last week, Kelso High School hosted a regional welding competition for over 30 area students. It was a chance for them to fine-tune their skills and for some, a chance to spark their career. John Goodwin was there.
We're just getting after it and having some fun, melting some metal.
The sparks were flying last week at Kelso High School.
If some of these kids, even if a handful of them want to go into the industry, they need to know what is the expectation is in the field.
32 students from 12 Southwest Washington high schools put their welding skills to the test at the regional Skills USA welding competition. Steve Mahitka is a CTE welding instructor at Kelso.
So many kids are willing to put themselves out there because, you know, it's nerve-wracking going against your peers. And it's a skill set that most kids aren't raised with in today's age.
These welders completed 4 different exercises and were judged on their technique by industry pros.
I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for something decently close that has skills that are obviously either worked on, can be improved, or beginning skills.
Jessica Moore teaches industrial technology at Lower Columbia College in Longview. What impresses her the most about this work coming from high schoolers?
That it's coming from high schoolers. Just the principal aspect that the trade is still living strong with our youth is so beautiful to see.
Many of these students have only been welding for a year or two, like Evergreen senior Keegan McKee.
TIG is a gas tungsten arc welding. So you have a torch, and then you have your tungsten that comes out, which makes your electrode, and then that gets super hot to where you can put your filler wire in.
Let's see here. I got a 78 out of 100 for gas tungsten arc welding, which is this, for the TIG aluminum.
Leon Lee is a senior at Kelso High.
I always wanted to get into it, but I never really had the opportunity until I came here.
Chloe Anderson is a Richfield High School sophomore. It's tough for her to find what she doesn't like about welding.
I don't like welding really thin metals. For me, it's more difficult. I like the thicker metals since it's harder to melt.
These top 3 finishers will all go to the state competition later this year. Bright futures ahead for all these students.
That's what we need. We need that, you know, kids that want to come back and live here and, you know, have good paying jobs that are going to produce for a family and a community.
In Kelso, John Goodwin, KGW News.
Coming up, Blazers fans got the opportunity to grab a piece of team history this weekend. How you might still be able to snag a little something for yourself. Welcome back to the good stuff. Blazers fans lined up in Portland this weekend to try and grab a piece of history. John Adams explains.
The former point guard and University of Portland Pilots head coach lived in the house for 15 years with his family. But the Porters are downsizing, so more than 10,000 items in all, from clothes to housewares, furniture and art, collectible figurines, and even a Mercedes-Benz E-Class with low miles were up for sale to the highest bidder. The company managing the sale said more than 1,000 hopeful buyers showed up.
So many people came out wearing their Portland Trailblazer gear and hopes to get a glimpse of him. And he didn't make an appearance, but we see him around Portland. He's not moving too far.
Well, if you didn't make it, it's not too late. Some of the items that didn't sell may be put up for consignment by PDX Estate Marketplace for sale next weekend. John Adams.
Pretty cool, right? Well, a current Blazer known for sporting some flashy fashion now has an unlikely sneaker collaborator. Scoot Henderson last night debuted new signature sneakers by Puma with a twist. Cheetos collaborated with Scoot and Puma to create a shoe that embodies the spirit of the crunchy cheese snack. Why is this making me hungry? It's making you guys hungry. Is that just me? Sports Illustrated reports that the Scoot Zero Cheetos shoe will be released to the public next week, along with a whole apparel line. A crowd of supporters cheering on Olympic hopefuls. 15 runners from the Portland area went to Orlando, Florida to try and snag a spot on the Olympic team. Kel's Brewing in Northwest Portland aired the Olympic marathon trials on Saturday, and people gathered to support them. Now, unfortunately, none of our Portland runners made the team, which took only the top 5 finishers, but you really have to give them a big congratulations for giving it a shot. That is just a feat in and of itself. Well, hey, there's also big news tonight for Northwest soccer fans. FIFA announced Seattle will host 6 matches in the 2026 World Cup. Madison Wade has a closer look at the economic impact.
The roar inside Lumen Field will be heard around the world.
We're bringing Washington to the world in 2026.
Seattle will host 6 World Cup games in 2 years and exactly
850 days.
Peter Tomazawa is a CEO for FIFA World Cup Seattle Organizing Group.
We want to have a legacy that lasts decades beyond this event coming here in the summer of 2026.
And fans will have a chance to see the U.S. men's national team play on June 19th, 2026, which is also Juneteenth.
We're going to be able to celebrate African American culture and history, not just across our country, but to the world.
Tomazawa says they are estimating 360,000 fans, at least in the stadiums, over the 2.5-week period, bringing an enormous economic impact.
We're estimating 750,000 or so visitors to not just our city, but our state. This is an event of statewide significance. Our television audience will be at minimum 2 billion. That's with the B, 2 billion people around the world. It's incredible. Yeah, it's massive.
There will be something for everyone in Seattle during the World Cup. And for soccer fans, it will be unforgettable.
I think Greg Burkhalter said it best. He's the coach of the men's national team. He's like, I can't wait to march to the match with Seattle and all the fans from Washington to cheer us on.
Oh, it's going to be so cool. Cannot wait. Well, hey, up next, it was Ladies' Night at the Grammys. We're looking back at the big wins and performances when we come back. Did you watch the Grammy Awards last night? Women took the night's top honors, and one woman in particular made history along the way. Mark Barger has a wrap-up of the biggest moments.
Thank you all.
An ailing Celine Dion
I love you right back.
made a surprise appearance at Sunday night's Grammy Awards and marked an historic occasion.
Taylor Swift.
The singer became the first artist ever to win Album of the Year 4 times. Midnights broke a tie with Frank Sinatra, Paul Simon, and Stevie Wonder.
For me, the award is the work. All I want to do is keep being able to do this. I love it so much.
Swift also won Best Pop Vocal Album and announced her next one. The Tortured Poets Department will release April 19th.
I'm going to go and post the cover right now backstage.
Flowers, Miley Cyrus!
Record of the Year was one of 2 wins on the night for Miley Cyrus, the first 2 Grammys of her career.
I really hope that it doesn't change anything because my life was beautiful yesterday.
Billie Eilish celebrated a win for Song of the Year for the Barbie hit, What Was I Made For?
Yikes. Oh my goodness. Damn, that's stupid, guys.
Best New Artist went to singer-songwriter Victoria Monet.
Thank you guys so much.
Jay-Z received the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, but during his remarks called out the Grammys for never honoring his wife Beyonce with Album of the Year.
Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year.
The night was highlighted by tributes to legends lost and performances by living legends, including Billy Joel and Joni Mitchell.
I looked at love from both sides now.
It was the 80-year-old folk singer's first Grammy performance. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Oh, I just love that song. I love Joni Mitchell. Just so cool to have her perform first time at the Grammys. What? Amazing. Okay, that's all the time that we have, but I want to leave you with a few more of your weekend photos. So many of these are so fun and positive. I mean, you guys had some good stuff, weekend vibes going on for sure. Thanks so much for sharing these, and thank you for taking a little time for the good stuff.